With the recent announcement of Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles 2, there are a ton of things going on in the trailer. There are a ton of questions that need to be answered. Is the character that I want to play going to be in the game? Will this be the Demon Slayer game that we get to play as Muzan? Will I be able to stomp people with Mastery? Or this dude? Guessing the roster might seem premature, but we actually have a solid understanding of what the day one roster will look like. So let's hop straight into this roster prediction. Now there's actually 12 characters that we can go ahead and shoe in for the next game because there's already character models and there's already movesets as well, with those being base form Tanjuro, base form Nezuko, base Zanasu, base Inosuke, Gayu, Sakonji, Sabito, Makamo, Shinobu, Rengoku, and Tanjiro with Hinokami Kagura, Haruta, Rui, Akaza, Yahaba, Samaru, Inmu, and Yushiro, and Tamayo. Engen, Nezuko's advanced demon form, Tanjiro from Entertainment District, Zanasu from Entertainment District, and Inosuke from Entertainment District, as well as the final two demons, Dagi and Yutaro. From the trailer, it is confirmed that we'll be able to play all 9 Hashira, so we can just add the brand new ones that they showed. Now, there are 2 characters that I think that are guaranteed to be on the roster, and that is Genya and Konoha. Now, the reason why I think Genya and Konoha is going to make this roster is because of this game that came out last summer called Demon Slayer Sweep the Board. Not only are there player models for all the confirmed characters that are supposed to be in Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles 2, but the additional 5 Hashira are also in this game and also has player models. Konoha and Genya also has player models for their characters. But let's start with Konoha because hers is a little more confusing. So we rarely see Konoha in the anime and we have yet to see what her skill set looks like, and if they were to release that, then it would actually be a big spoiler, which is why I'm definitely thankful for games like Demon Slayer Sweep the Board, because it is mainly a testing ground to test these characters. With the addition of her in Sweep the Board, her player model is already done. We just have to wait for the anime to progress further and we can see her moveset. But I will understand if a Konoha DLC was to be way further down the line because it would obviously spoil the show. But Konoha's DLC is not off the table because the player model is already done. We just have to wait for the moveset to come out. Our boy Genya here is a lot easier to predict because not only does he already have a character model in Sweep the Board, we've also already seen his moveset in the anime. Genya has 2 forms. One is his base form and one is his form where he devours demons. He also has a shotgun to add to his really great character design, so I am fully confident that Genya is definitely a DLC character, or who knows, it might be the base game. The only problem is we don't know how the transformations are going to work or the awakenings are going to work, so maybe they're going to just work on a brand new engine, or maybe they just going to make it separate characters. But if they just win one or the other, it just would not make any sense for Genya. However, it would be a shame if they just picked one form over the other, because they really would not be doing Genya justice by picking one over the other. Now, moving on to some demons, there is one other character that might be really hard to design around, and that is Goyaku. Now, Gyoko is such a strange character design because he has 2 forms, one when he's in his vase and 2 when he is out of it. Now, I don't know how this design philosophy would work because you can't really be in an arena fighter and play in a vase, so I don't think that's gonna work. Maybe he can be part of a moveset where he sets down a vase and maybe you get like sucked into it and maybe you have to deal some damage with it, who knows. But obviously that would be incredibly hard to design. So if they were to go with a form, then he would obviously be out of his vase. Now, I don't know exactly how that would affect gameplay, or at least when it comes to this character, but if there's one character on this list that they will probably still clear from, it's probably him. Due to how complicated this character's design philosophy would be to implement in an arena fighter, I do think they were not going to add this character, but it's not out of the realm of possibility if they were to add his second form. Now, the upper 4 demons might seem like it's complicated and you really don't know who to choose, but it's actually not as difficult as I thought it would be. Sure, you can make every single manifestation form its own unique character, but I really do think it would be watered down, and I think people will rather just play the most powerful form. It is easily Zokatan, and it is the most powerful form in this entire upper 4. But if they really wanted to implement the rest of the manifestation forms, then they can easily just make them into combination secret techniques. You guys are very similar with the Naruto Storm games, and you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But do not forget, in this game there is support, so maybe they can add a special support where you can play with Zokatan and then you can call upon the other manifestation forms to help you during battle. Not only that, you are also able to use demons as assists. Finally, they are not fighting by themselves. Just something to note if you didn't know that. So when it comes to upper rank 4 and 5, I definitely do think that upper rank 4 is more likely to appear in the game than Gyoko. There is one character that people did mention on Twitter that I actually almost forgot about, and that is Yoriichi Type 0. Yes, the puppet that Tanjuro actually faces in the Swordsmith village arc. And there's some pretty strong evidence to suggest that he may or may not be a character included in this game. One, he has a quick action event in Demon Slayer Truth the Board. Two, he also has a character model in Demon Slayer Truth the Board. And three, it was actually advertised as a quick time event in the story mode in Hinokami Chronicles 2. Now, yes, all of this is true, but that doesn't mean that he's actually going to be a character in this game. In fact, this actually might be one of my boldest takes in this video, and I do think that Yoriichi Type 0 would actually make a very fun gimmick character. When it comes to these last forms I'm going to mention, it is heavily dependent on how Infinity Castle goes. And honestly, I don't think I could have waited to the end of the video to talk about this character, and that is Muzan. There is so much speculation around how on earth would they actually implement this character without making him extremely overpowered. Now, obviously, this character is going to be available so far down the life cycle of Demon Slayer in general, and maybe even in this game, because we just have not seen this guy's moveset. He barely appears in the first 4 seasons of the anime, and it's just so much speculation around how on earth this character would actually perform. When it comes to a new Tanjuro and a new Nezuko form, there's actually a little bit of speculation when it comes to Tanjuro. Tanjuro does appear to have a new form because of his marks on his forehead, and that's actually leaked in the trailer. Not only that, people actually pointed out the background used in the trailer. It was not the same background used to promote the story mode content in Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles 2, no. This is actually way different. It's actually using an ultimate move in a PvP. So this could actually mean that Tanjuro might be getting a new form down the line. But this whole entire section of the video is called maybe depending on Infinity Castle for a reason. Same thing with Nezuko. There's nothing really set in stone with her. We do know that she already has 2 forms confirmed, her base form and her advanced demon form. But like I said, once again, depending on Infinity Castle, we might actually be getting a 3rd Nezuko form. At this point, it is pure speculation. Now, there is one last character that I do think actually made the roster, but they might actually just slap a new coat of paint on him. And that is actually Tanjiro's father. Now, this prediction I admit is way out of left field and is definitely the boldest take in this entire video. Now, when it comes to Tanjiro's moveset, we actually have no idea what they would actually do with that. He appeared so little in the series that we really don't know much about him. What we do know is that he did pass down the sun breathing technique Hinokami Kagura to Tanjiro, but if they was to put this character in the game, he is the one and only exception that I will make. You could basically just copy and paste Tanjiro's moveset Hinokami Kagura version to Tanjiro's father, since he actually invented the technique anyway. And I don't know, just make it a little more ferocious, you know, kind of switch it up, maybe switch up the colors, who knows. However, he is the one and only exception when it comes to copying and pasting moves in this game, and just not those horrid Academy characters. Oh my goodness, just do not bring those back. If you're gonna bring those back, just bring them as skins. That would be totally fine, but that was just not cool. So in the final wrap up, I do have the 30 confirmed characters that were actually just released and announced, with the exception of my actually guessed 4 DLC characters, with that being Genya, Kanon, Upper 4, and Muzan, with my takes of the free DLC being Yoriichi Type 0 and Tanjiro's father, Tanjuro. By the way, I just, their names sound so similar, I cannot pronounce it right, please forgive me. And with that being said, that is my full prediction for the Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles 2 roster. I just possibly checked out the last content update for Dragon Ball The Breakers, so that video is on the screen right now, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.